our Almighty God, Creator of heaven and earth, Father and lover of our soul, you sit on your throne of mercy and rule with your love and faithfulness. You are full of grace. We acknowledge your presence in our lives. Nothing is hidden in your eyes, even our challenges and struggles in life. We come to you with faith. We ask not only for our daily spiritual bread, but to seek your forgiveness and undeserving favor to heal our land, our family members, our friends and neighbors, even our enemies with COVID-19 and other diseases. Holy Spirit, help us to deepen our faith and see the opportunity to believe, obey, and worship. As we face this pandemic, you are Lord and God. Encourage us and change our hearts, not to fear, but to be full of hope and find ourselves praying and meditating your word. We believe no works of the enemy prosper to your children. Abba, Father, we believe that your Son Jesus Christ is Lord and Savior. He is the truth and our salvation. Hear our prayers, O Lord, and most of all, not our will, but thy will be done. We pray this in Jesus' name, the name above all names, who was and is to come. Amen.
Reaching out to Filipinos worldwide, the now of digital entertainment with studios in Manila, Bacolod, Hong Kong, and Los Angeles, California. This is V81 Radio Worldwide.
V81 Radio, V81 Radio. Ito ang radio mo, ito ang radio ko. V81 Radio, V81 Radio. Dahil mahal namin kayo. V81 Radio, V81 Radio. Para sa inyo ito, V81 Radio.
The views and opinions expressed by the host do not necessarily state or reflect those of the company and its management. Furthermore, the views and opinions of the guests do not reflect those of the host, the show, this station, the management, and the network. An online community for the youth, aspiring entrepreneurs, intrapreneurs, OFWs, SMEs, and social enterprises. Let Dear DORE guide you as you build your personal, professional, and business goals. Dear DORE will certainly be with you as you embark your journey and achieve desirable results. Write to Dear DORE and be inspired by like-minded industry leaders who will share their experiences with the community. This is Dear DORE with your host, Dorelene Villanueva Dimaunahan. Only here on V81 Radio Worldwide.
Happy Saturday to everyone watching and listening in to Dear DORE Worldwide. This is your online community for the youth, aspiring entrepreneurs, intrapreneurs, OFWs, SMEs, and social enterprises. In today's 8th episode entitled Collaboration and Innovation Through Digitization, I will be speaking with two successful individuals and friends in the business and corporate world who will share how they utilized social media, technology, and other digital tools in their respective businesses and networks. Dear DORE is available in 14 digital platforms: YouTube, Facebook Live, Amazon Fire TV, TuneIn, Alexa, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, Stitchers, iHeartRadio, and Pandora. V81 Radio can also be heard in all Amazon Echo devices. Just say, Alexa, play V81 Radio. Note that this is only available in selected countries like US, Canada, or where Alexa is available. While technology makes it possible to invite more and different people to virtual meetings and increase networks, it has paved way for innovation and collaboration, not just among individuals, but even amidst the pandemic in the public and private sectors. The pandemic has paved the way for pivots in business models, which require a sense of innovation and creativity in order to focus on maintaining business continuity. Leaders of various organizations face an important choice when it comes to innovation, since that will definitely have lasting consequences on their organization's ability in the growth in the years to come. The question is, how exactly has collaboration helped individuals during the pandemic, and how has technology helped MSMEs reach their potential? I'm very much excited to speak with our guests who will share their actual experiences on how strategies and collaboration, innovation, and technology have worked during the pandemic and in this new normal. But before I introduce them, let's take a short break.
We'll be back shortly. This is Dear Door, only here on V81 Radio Worldwide. Good news para sa mga kababayan natin abroad. Mapapanood nyo na ang inyong mga paboritong V81 radio shows sa Amazon Fire TV. Simple lang ang gawin. Go to Amazon.com at isearch lang ang V81 radio app and click install. Tiyak wala kayong shows na mamimiss dahil mapapanood nyo na ito anytime and anywhere you want. Gamit ang Amazon Fire TV. Tandaan lang, just install the V81 radio app and you're good to go. Another first from V81 Radio Worldwide. Sa mga Ilonggo, pantayan sa 2021.
V81 Radio, V81 Radio. Para sa inyo ito, V81 Radio.
Hi, this is Simon of Jeremiah. Pinoy music ba ang hanap mo? Download the V81 Radio mobile app. Download now at the App Store and the Google Play Store. Free now, free forever, at siguradong hindi ka manghihinayang.
V81 Radio, V81 Radio. Ito ang radio mo, ito ang radio ko. V81 Radio, V81 Radio. Dahil mahal namin kayo. V81 Radio, V81 Radio. Para sa inyo ito, V81 Radio.
Now back to Dear Door, only here on V81 Radio Worldwide.
Again, happy Saturday, and to everyone watching and listening in to Dear Door Worldwide. Dear Door is available in 14 digital platforms: YouTube, Facebook Live, Amazon Fire TV, TuneIn, Amazon Alexa, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, Stitchers, iHeartRadio, and Pandora. V81 Radio can also be heard in all Amazon Echo devices. Just say, Alexa, play V81 Radio. Note that this is only available in selected countries like US, Canada, or where Alexa is available. I'm now finally excited to introduce our guests. Our first guest is the Vice President and the SME Segment and Platforms Head under the Customer Experience Group of Union Bank, effective November of 2020. He graduated from Dela University, Manila, with a degree in Behavioral Sciences, majoring in Organizational Systems Development, and also completed his academic units for master's degree in industrial psychology. He joined Union Bank in 2008, starting his career with transaction banking, cash management as a team lead for retail sales unit for 7 years. He was appointed as the head of customer segments management from 2015 to November of 2019 and was then appointed to be the head of SME platforms unit for the SME banking group, which he managed up to November of 2020. Currently, he has moved into a larger role with Customer Experience Group as SME segment and platforms head. With his long-standing career in Union Bank, coupled with his in-depth knowledge on the financial, operational, and technical solutions areas, he has become an expert for micro, small, and large enterprises. More importantly, he has helped them not only find, understand, but also maximize the digital banking solutions for their businesses. Furthermore, he has participated in numerous business and technology forums in both local and international arenas as a resource speaker and subject matter expert, evangelizing the importance of digital transformation, e-commerce, and choosing the right, reputable partners in growing one's businesses. He is also an MSME himself, having started small companies with other partners in the past. Everyone, please welcome the dashing Jaypee Soliman.
Hi, Dor. Hello.
Hello, Jaypee. It's nice to see you once again.
I know we've
Welcome.
together what 2 weeks ago or something like that,
Yeah,
no? Yeah, nice
two
to see
weeks
everyone
ago.
here.
Yeah, it's nice to see you again. And of course, JP's friend and also a good friend of mine is also our other guest. He has been an entrepreneur and venture builder for 20 or more than 20 years and a founder of Bounce Back PH and the Bounce Back Network, a business advocacy group of over 1 million members. He's also the author of a book which I have called The Practical Entrepreneur, was a former director of business and innovation at the Ateneo de Manila University and has currently over 15 business ventures under his wing. Wow. His ventures revolve around digital tech startups, food and beverage, e-commerce, esports, e-health, and learning. So, JP, let us welcome the astounding Mr. Jason De La Rosa.
Hello, good
Woo!
afternoon. Good evening na pala, no? And
Good evening.
salamat sa pag-invite sa akin sa ano kami ni JP. I mean, we're here again together.
I
Oo.
know.
And
We were just
I'm looking forward to our discussion this evening.
all right. Thank you very much, guys. For everyone to know, I've met them, both JP and Jason, virtually. No? So that's how important social media and networks really are. And I did have the chance to meet JP in person during one of our recordings for Union Bank. Si Jason hindi pa but he did send me a book with a signature and which I really, really treasure, The Practical Entrepreneur. Something that you should definitely have. So, matagal-tagal ang discussions usually with these two very smart men, very humble, kita nyo naman, but also very knowledgeable. So let's start. Let's have both of them introduce a little bit more of themselves. So let's start with JP. Can you please tell us more about your career?
So my career, as in history of my career, medyo mahaba-haba. But let me just center on what I do now, right? So yeah, right now I'm the SME segment head and platforms head for Union Bank on the Customer Experience Group. So if you look at the title itself, you'd have to understand that my job is to really make sure that the bank's products and services are aligned to how an SME needs it, how an SME wants it, how an SME will use it. Right? Dati kasi if you will look at how bank platforms are, a bank's website or a mobile app and everything like that, it was designed purely with the intent of a transaction. Right? The intent was how will you make a fund transfer? How will you make a withdrawal? That was the intent. But now ours is more lifestyle driven. It's really based on as an SME, we're using user stories now. As an SME, I know I need to transfer funds to my supplier, but what is my experience that will make it more memorable if I do it in your mobile app. So that's technically my job now. At the same time, also aligning the different products to be relevant to the market. Kasi baka mamaya, is it okay to also talk a little bit in Filipino? Or,
Yeah, of course, of course.
okay. Kasi baka mamaya, we keep pushing a product that is not anymore relevant to the SME. I'll give you an example. And I know Jason will agree on me on this one, di ba? If a bank keeps pushing a loan product that is fully collateralized, that is no longer relevant. Tama ba, Jason?
Tama.
So
On point.
we have to make sure that the product groups, our policies would align to how the market will accept us, di ba? So basically, that's more of my career right now, and I'm really enjoying it because it entails that I talk to more people like Jason, like Dor, talk to SMEs, di ba? In a week's time, I get to talk to 5, 10 different business owners, so I get to understand. Yeah,
And that's the
it's
most
fun.
amazing thing, no? I like what you said about lifestyle and user experience. In today's, well, new normal, alam na natin, no, we're still amidst the pandemic. It's the new normal, but I think it's going to be part of what's going to happen, at least for MSMEs. And that's exactly what I believe Union Bank is supporting. Can you tell us a little bit more of how lifestyle and user experience have changed, at least in terms of who you've spoken to in the past uh, months, I guess?
Yeah, the best example I can give is something I've shared also in the past. Check deposit, for example. I mean, we always thought that check deposit is the hardest thing to do when it comes to banking because you have to fall in line. Well, you have to travel, you have to look for parking, right? You have to make it before cut off time. That's the worst. That's the worst. Make it before cut off time. And then later on, even prior to the pandemic, all this technology about digital check imaging. Take a picture of your check. I think we were one of the first to have that. And everyone thought that that is something that is more for a retail customer, an individual. When in fact, an SME who's going to accept any kind of payment kasi wala na nga nagbabayad sa kanya. So kahit anong mode of payment ang gawin mo, tatanggapin ko yan. Is the one who is more in dire need to get the check into their bank account. So when you mix together that purpose and the experience, because honestly, a business owner is still a person. They're human. They're not robots. They're not a company. You should look at them as people. You have to put their names there, right? So you marry the user experience of a retail customer with the purpose of a business, and that's the perfect place where the SME sit, right? That's why we launched even mobile check deposit also in our mobile apps for business. Nahuli yun eh, nauna yun sa retail. But then again, the customer experience dictated we needed this. The journey dictated we needed this, so we adapted to that. That's one example that I can really give.
All right, thank you very much. No, indeed, it's really how quick you were able to address the needs of the customers, and also that's very important now because of the need for safety as well. So thank you very much, JP. Let's now move on to Jason. Can you tell us more about the highlights of your career or experience as an entrepreneur?
Okay. Well, for as an entrepreneur, it spans 20 years already, of my life. And I've during this time, I've learned so many things, not just about business, but about life in general. And I wrote it down in my book. So if you read it, there, so I have a lot of core concepts, no, na I learned during my time as an entrepreneur. And bounce back PH, being directly in touch with other entrepreneurs, those who struggled during the pandemic, those who helped other SMEs recover or endure during the pandemic. I realized, no, that a lot of the things na we thought are game changers, or the market is different, or being an entrepreneur has now changed, no, actually it hasn't changed, no. It made us realize lang that we needed to go back to the core and the basics of being an entrepreneur, no? Kasi the startup world in general, entrepreneurship has been glamorized for so many years that the practicality of business has been sort of nakalimutan na ng mga tao. And because of this pandemic, parang the purpose of people have shifted, no? Yung parang they realize, teka lang, parang may disconnect sa purpose ko sa buhay or sa negosyo. Parang may disconnect na ngayon. The things that have value to me, medyo nakalimutan ko, and I have to go back to the things that have value, no? For me as a person and to my business, and how I can create impact sa community ko. And somehow all SMEs, all entrepreneurs, all Filipinos are connected with one another. If we don't help each other out, no, everybody suffers, no? That's my realization. And I've this pandemic has been a big turning point for me. I've my purpose, no, naging naiba yung purpose ko being an entrepreneur. Before, it's all about growing the business. It's all about creating new innovations and everything. But now iba na talaga. If you look at my ventures now, no, I'm a venture builder, and Jaypee knows this. So pagka nakukwento ko sa kanya mga negosyo ko ngayon, it's all about creating impact, either social impact or an impact sa mga tao, no? And I believe that entrepreneurship comes with a responsibility, like Spider-Man, with the power comes great responsibility. And entrepreneurship and faith always goes together. You cannot do one without the other. So yun yung mga realization ko ngayon pandemic na to. Yan.
Well, that's something very nice, no? Indeed, I would agree that purpose and the core of a lot of people, individuals, and not just businesses and organizations in general, they definitely have shifted. And one thing that I really liked about Jason, which this is where we met Bounce Back PH, because during that time, for everyone to understand where we're coming from now, we also had this advocacy. So there were a lot of advocacies, and Bounce Back PH was one of those. So it was very nice as an entrepreneur myself to see someone create or start with one group, helping fellow entrepreneurs, and dun mo makikita na kahit madaming entrepreneurs sa mundo, or at least in the country, no, it's still a small world after all. And I've seen what he mentioned earlier, si Jason, in his book. And from what he said, na it's really about impact nowadays. Kaya din, di ba, may mga social enterprises, a lot of social civic programs. There was really a turning point for everyone, di ba? Kaya nga may word na pivot in terms of business, and I would say it's also in terms of a person's life and realizations. And it's true that entrepreneurship and faith do go together. Because if not for that, wala, ang dami na nag-give up. And thank you for reiterating that. So, since you mentioned Bounce Back PH, would you be able to give everyone a little story behind this group that you've created?
Okay. Bounce Back PH, I created around, I started it March 12, 2020, about 11:45 a.m. I still remember that day when the parang the lockdown was you're already hearing about lockdown. You're already hearing about that is the first lockdown. So parang everyone was, oh no, what's gonna happen? Are we gonna be like, prisoners at home, mga ganon, no? So very scary time for a lot of people. And a week or two before that announcement, I was already working from home. Kasi medyo nakikita ko the virus is already medyo it's already everywhere. So I decided to, sige, I'll work from home. Then it occurred to me that frontliners needed help already, during that time. And some SMEs have already been contacting me, mga small SMEs, kasi I'm mentoring a lot of SMEs before, mga entrepreneurs. And they've been contacting me, sir, paano, how do we do this? How do we How do we go through this, no? So I decided to create a small group with colleagues lang. That was my first intention, no? To help to gather resources to help the frontliners. And number two is to offer guidance to SMEs, no? To work together, no? But when I created it after a few days, when I wake up in the morning, 500 requests to join the group. Okay, so how do I do this? Okay, so add. Okay. Tapos the next day, I haven't finished approving another 500, another 1,000 requests sa group. Sabi ko, what's this? No? So nakita ko, yung mga post ng mga tao is really about helping already. Hey guys, what can I do? What can I do to help? No, so the spirit, the bayanihan spirit, nakita ko na talaga during that time. So I said, nako, it's time to organize this. We have to use this. This is a blessing. We have to create an impact. We have to help. We have to work one another. So a lot of the SMEs, the business leaders, approached me already. Oh, let's do something. That's why Bounce Back grew not because of me alone, no. It's because of the business leaders, the people that came in and pitched in. Even Union Bank Global Linker, the best partner ever, pumasok dito and really helped out. So that's really true collaboration to create impact society. So in a nutshell, yeah, that's what. And now we're here, after a year and a half, no. We're now creating programs, no, not just a Facebook group. We're now institutionalizing programs, no, so that it can create more impact, one community at a time. Ganun. So, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. No? Natuwa ko dun sa 11:45 a.m. Parang when you told that story earlier, parang nag-reminisce ako kasi I saw how Bounce Back PH grew. Diba? Ako pa ngayong, oh, hey, how could I also help? And with everything that was happening, the panic that was going on, if not for the mentorship and also the emotional support, for the entire community, which now actually Bounce Back is not just one. Ang dami ng community pages kaya nga nakakatuwa. And doon din tayo nagkakilala. Diba? So it's really about collaboration and the spirit of bayanihan. And I believe that we all now know that that's one of the advantages of the pandemic if we see it in a positive light. So thank you for sharing that, Jason. Let's move on to JP. So you've shared how you've been managing projects that also help MSMEs, which is very, very important, of course, because of the relevance of MSMEs in the economy. And ewan ko kung pwede na natin mention but you do have an app that you are about to launch, I believe, no? So would you like to tell us more about this?
I love to, di ba? I'd love to. Actually, it's if we're talking about the MSME business banking app, it has been launched already since January. But again, like I mentioned kanina, di ba? Normally, when you look at mobile apps, especially coming from banks, there's just one particular transaction or specific to banking transactions that's normally plugged in. What we do in Union Bank, especially for SMEs, is well, start of 2020, no, 2020, November 2020, when I took over the SME platforms group in customer experience. Sabi ko, we have to start changing the game pagdating sa direct to banking. Because before 2020, di ba yung intro mo sa akin kanina, ang dami ng stages na pinagdaanan ko sa Union Bank, no? Before that, I was managing the platform called Union Bank Global Linker, and my concept of banking there was the before and beyond banking experience. So kapag sinabi mo before and beyond banking experiences, it means that wala pa siyang bank account sa'yo, customer mo na siya. Right? Or umabot na siya sa point na advocate mo na siya at pinopromote ka na niya sa iba. That's the beyond banking. And it means you are able to give them a service that is not necessarily kailangan may bank account ka. So sabi ko, we have to take that ideology and put it in the MSME banking world, right? And so the mobile app experience was released in January. We released the experiences of doing digital account opening for businesses, which is, I believe, pina-trademark namin first in the country. Kasi yeah, you can open a bank account for your personal savings, diba? Through a mobile app with other banks. But for businesses, this is the first. And then, I won't say when, kasi alam naman ni Jason and ni Dor, but we now have the capability for an SME to accept payments. Right? I'm not saying that this is better than the payment gateways out there, like PayPal or whatever, and so on and so forth. But the ability to put it together into one banking app allows now the SME to pivot faster and be able to use it more aggressively in many different scenarios. Diba? Uh, so the way that we thought about it before and beyond banking, now it's becoming really connected banking. So connected kasi naka-embed na ako sa buhay ng negosyante, right? Ngayon, I'm saying I have released a payment request for payment, a payment gateway in my app. Tomorrow, what I'm excited about is really releasing other capabilities that you haven't heard a bank will ever provide. There will Before the year ends, I'm going to provide a simple accounting system inside that mobile app, expense management, credit scoring, those things that you've never heard of na binibigyan ng isang bangko, because that's the concept of how. And honestly, to be honest, that is what the SME needs. 'Di ba? The SME doesn't need to have so many loans to the point that they are 110% in debt already. They don't need that. What they need is the tools to help them grow their business more, because that's the goal. Hindi yung umutang na umutang. That's not the right way to grow. The right way to grow is, 'di ba, parang sabi nga ni sa Bible, teach them how to fish rather than giving them the fish. Tama ba ako, Jace?
Tama.
'Di ba? And this is
Good
the way
point.
for us to teach the SMEs and maximize technology, maximize the being digital of Union Bank, to give them the tools to fish, right? And use it in one space, in one place. Now we call it the business banking hub. Uh, that's a long story, but yeah, for now, I think that's a good intro already.
Oo, definitely, no? Kumbaga, if we're talking about collaboration now, there's also consolidation. Kasi nakakatuwa because the pandemic also allowed even the micro businesses to have online payment systems. Kasi nga, it's also something to do with safety, di ba? Na hindi ka nahawak na pera. And I guess in terms of connected banking, talagang swak siya in terms of what the business needs, especially the micro enterprises. And you were highlighting tools. And this is very, very important for any individual, for that matter, not just businesses or organizations. Union Bank has been known, and I've seen, no, the growth of Global Linker. Isa yan kasi sa mga tinitignan ko, diba? And we've had also talks about this even in 2020. So I'd like to ask you, no, JP, with all of these things and innovations that Union Bank has been and is still continuing to have, how are you able to get or come up with these amazing business models or projects or products?
Well, hindi lang kasi ears on the ground na ginagawa namin. We involve ourselves in the grounds, right? That's one reason also why I met you guys through Bounce Back, because during that time I needed to understand, well, I needed to be part of the movements to understand the SME and what they really need. To be honest, day in day out, we get to talk to customers and really it's a deeper sense of empathy na eh. Because diba dati sabi na, well, to have empathy, it means you're putting yourself in the shoes of the customer and things like that. Ngayon, we're really following the customer. And through those learnings, doon namin nakikita ano talaga yung tools na kailangan nila, ano yung help na kailangan nila. And I'll be honest, and we're all friends here. Not everything can be done by Union Bank. We all know that. No one person can do everything. No one person can do all the solutioning. That's why in our own solutioning, we always involve partners. It's a collaboration. Meron kaming collaboration na gagawin ni Jason. I hope mangyari talaga mabilis yun, di ba, Pards? On the
Yes.
e-medicine side, no? So
Wow.
we don't create everything, but we partner with people who can parang hindi support us but can maximize our platform so we can deliver what the SME needs, 'di ba? Education, for example, DORE, we've collaborated a lot on that.
Yeah.
Educating si Jason also. We've collaborated a lot with international partners as well to deliver the needs of the SME. I guess that's the best thing about what's happening right now also is ang bilis na ng collaboration ngayon kasi honestly to turn on lang tayo ng Zoom, nagmi-meeting na tayo for the next 2 hours. Unlike before, we have to travel 1 hour in the traffic of EDSA just to get to the office of where we're going to meet, di ba? So, napaganda yung pag-collaborate. It's
Very
really
true,
nice.
no? So I really see a lot of advantages. Nabanggit nga ni JP, and I'm sure that Jason would also be able to agree with it. In fact, naman, no, for everyone who's watching, we've had a lot of collaborations together. And somehow, diba, you think na pag face-to-face, yes, mas maganda because you get to see the non-verbal gestures, etc. But ako, even if let's say, you just met JP once, si Jason hindi pa, pero puro virtual kami. And there's just really this connection na we all have this vision to help others, to share what we have. And ito yung magandang ma-highlight sa sinabi ni JP eh. You can't have or do everything. Okay. So you have to find your strengths and then find someone who can complement or help you. And that's the thing about collaboration. And we learned this during the pandemic. It's very interesting because, of course, we know that even Jason has his own network. We all have our networks. But the thing is, we don't see competition anymore. It's more of really helping one another, finding how we can best serve the market and really give that best customer experience. So, yeah, thank you for sharing that. Now let's move on to Jason. So, as a mentor, you mentioned that earlier, mentorship, and I really, really like that. I've also been mentored by a lot. I still have mentors right now, and I like to give back by doing the same. So, with that, uh, with different ventures in different industries that you've had, how are you able to manage every single one of them simultaneously?
Okay. That's a good question, no? And during this pandemic, actually, I've mastered that craft a bit, no? Kasi you don't have a choice. I mean, you have to use all the digital tools possible in order to collaborate in the most efficient way. Okay, and I do it management by mentorship. No, tama ka. Mentorship is the best way of doing it. And when you mentor somebody, kasi you try to lead him towards a path that is based on your experience. No, you don't try to force anything. Okay, do this, do this. Kasi you have to use his creativity. I mean, the mentor and mentee relationship, it's still a collaboration. Hindi siya yung parang uutusan mo siya, ito gawin mo to, no? You're also learning from him, no? Kasi especially he's more engaged with his industry, for example, and you're just mentoring. Maybe it's the first time I've entered that industry and I'm still learning, no? So all the ventures I'm trying to manage is I make sure that there's a mentorship style of work. That means that he or she can think for himself, no, and manage, and magbabatuhan lang kami ng ideas every now and then. And very important is during these times is you are very focused on KPIs and results, because that is the true measure of the success. Without you, knowing, teka, nanonood ka ba ng Netflix dyan o nagtatrabaho ka ba? Minsan, hindi mo na, I mean, you're not gonna ask that person, teka, are you working or are you watching Netflix? You don't do that, right? So, you both agree on certain metrics, on certain KPIs. You advise them, okay, this is our style of execution and what's the result. So, you do a regular check, and you will see the health of your company in a nutshell. Kung teka lang, something's wrong, If there's something wrong, let's talk, let's fix it. No? So that's the way I try to manage everything. So very important, management by mentorship.
Lovely.
Uh,
Management by mentorship. And kaya chill yung dating ni Jason and JP eh. If you see them, di ba? They're just really smiling, di ba? And sharing everything even before we started. Wala, kwentuhan talaga about whatever is happening. And there's just really that positive mindset na, okay, this is what's happening, this is what can be done. Sharing
yeah.
talaga. Even earlier, we were talking about whatever is happening in the future, data, and how we can still collaborate. Yun pa rin siya eh. And I'd like to highlight what Jason said now, KPIs and results. After all, it's really the output that matters. Kasi kahit na usap kayo ng usap, meeting kayo ng meeting, if nothing's happening, wala rin. Diba?
Mm.
There's trust that's there and also continuous learning, especially with today's generation. Diba? And from our previous episodes, we've learned that with the adequate amount of independence that allows the entrepreneur or the person to actually use his or her creative juices and contribute. So that's something I've also learned today, management by mentorship. And the way that it's being done by Jason is something that we should also look into as mentors and also as mentees because it's still about collaboration and understanding one another. After all, it's a relationship, right? So thank you for that. And I know that you have a project called Digital Bayan, Jason. Can you tell us more about this?
Okay. So basically, digital bayan's objective, no, is the recovery of the economy, recovery, give social impact one community at a time using digital. No, so it's building digital ecosystems so that we can help small communities recover. No, by making things more efficient, training them to use the different tools. Using the Union Bank payment facility, using e-commerce, using e-health, using telemedicine instead of, oh, ang hirap pumunta sa doctor. We have all of those in place, no? So digital bayan is not actually a product, no? It's an aggregation or a collaboration of different companies to create an ecosystem, because one of the key elements or one of the things you can collaborate is to join together and create an ecosystem, no? So develop an ecosystem, tama ka, Dor, it's complementing the strength of the weakness of the other and vice versa, no? Kung if you want to get the apple from the tree and you're short, you get somebody tall to help you get that that apple from the tree, no? It's the result that matters. When you are short, that weakness evaporates with results, no? That's what I always say. That's my best motto for my mentees, no? Weakness evaporates with results, no? Because there's always a way to get that result even with your weakness. There's an apple in the tree. Number one, you can shake it until it falls down. Number two, you get a ladder, tool yourself to get that apple, or get a friend, team up, climb on that shoulder, and then get that apple. And that result, being short, your weakness now disappears. So digital bayan, jumping from what JP said about teaching people how to fish, no? One component of digital bayan is what we call donation by livelihood, no? So for example, you are a breadwinner and you lost your job, you lost your income, no? What we do is we empower you with a link, no, that enables you to share that link so that people can buy vegetables from you, can buy without you shelling out capital, no? Kasi as a person, mahiya ka mag-ask ng cash for donation, right? So instead of donating cash, I have a link with all the products there, and it says there, kunyari, JP, buying from JP Soliman. Yan. Tapos may picture ni JP doon, may vegetables doon. So ang gagawin ni Dor, punta siya, I want to help JP. I'll buy vegetables from him. So what happens is that vegetables isn't in the house or in the warehouse of JP. It's with us. We deliver it, but the commission or the margin goes to JP. no? And the income that is generated by that link can help support him as he endures the crisis, no? But kung cash donation kasi yan, no? Ubos yan. This way, we can create a sustainable livelihood even after the pandemic, no? Meron na siyang way of recurring income, no? Not just yung problema niya ngayong pandemic. So that's what digital buy-in is all about. It's creating a digital Philippines, no? Through a collaboration between companies, no, that can offer a benefit, digital benefit for social impact. And digital buy-in is the aggregator, and ito ang very important, somebody who can measure the impact. No, if nobody is going to measure the impact, baliwala, because we don't know how to improve it. No, so digital buy-in is aggregator and a way to track and measure the impact that we're creating sa mga communities. Yan.
Grabe, something to look forward to again. Imagine a digital ecosystem. I can just imagine from how you explained it. And yun nga ang pinaka-importante. And I agree with what you said na madaling mawala ang cash. And we need something that's more sustainable. Especially, we'll never know. Diba? Kanina, we were just discussing, kailan kaya matatapos talaga itong pandemic? Diba? Even amidst the vaccines, all of these programs. So we can't just keep waiting, but instead we have to move forward and do something. So really looking forward to that. For Jaypee naman, no, in relation to that digital ecosystem, how important and related is technology and digital banking, for that matter, in the lives of SMEs or MSMEs?
How important? Well, on my opinion, it's very, very much embedded, really. Because in anything that you do, the digital buy-in of Jason, the future of home, the future of health, the future of so and so forth, you'll need to move money left and right. Diba, ang lagi nga namin rarara is, dapat everyone digital banking na tayo, wala nang cash and all those. But unfortunately, cash will never get lost But as you are embedding the transaction into the daily lives of people, doon papasok yung technology. By turning on a switch or ito na lang. Parang yung example ko kanina, when you buy Colgate from the store, there's a lot of points where money was involved. Money to manufacture, money to import, money to bring it to the logistics center, and so on and so forth. And the time you make a payment, right? If you get to embed yourself in that lifestyle, then that's where technology really plays a huge role. When you get to connect the points, the money points and the data points within, that's super powerful. That's where we really want to bring our bank to, no, in the future. So we're also investing and collaborating with things like InsurTech or insurance technology, education, and all those. Because we understand that you cannot take away banking in that scenario, but people think you can because the traditional banking is about you physically going to a bank's branch, you physically doing a transaction. When you think of it differently, diba? Now you will see how powerful it can really be, right? I mean, next thing you know, bumibili ka ng Colgate sa supermarket, kulang pala yung laman ng ATM card mo, pag swipe mo, tumuloy kasi automatic, utang na kita para mabili mo yung Colgate na kailangan mo. Di ba? Mga ganun bagay. It's automated without you even knowing. Mga ganun. That's how technology can be maximized here.
Grabe na the benefits of technology and how it can actually be integrated into the ecosystem. Talagang multi-industry na. So, well, speaking with JP and Jason, talagang kulang ang isang oras or
Tapos na pala.
Ay, alam na natin na kanina more. Part 2. So, all right, guys. I'm sure as mentors, ang daming gustong makarinig ng insights and advice for businesses in general or those who want to start up, aspiring entrepreneurs in the coming months or even years. So what advice, practical advice, can you both give these aspiring entrepreneurs? Jason?
Okay. Marami, no? But, okay. Buy my book. Hindi, loko lang. Um,
Totoo yan.
well, number one. Okay, number one, let's talk about mindset. So, sa mindset, the world is usually not what it is, but how you see it, no? So, for example, if the crisis, no, maraming problema, but if you see the problems as opportunities, then binaliktad mo yung view mo. It's how you perceive it to be and not what it really is, so that you can move. So that's what basically mindset is. So change it, change the way you look at things. No. Number two, and is about purpose and goals. No. Make sure that you are not influenced by social media and the media that influence or shape what you really want in life. Kasi nakita natin sa pandemic na yung what really brings value in our lives, nakalimutan na natin. Eh ngayon, bumalik na, ay teka lang, importante pala ang pamilya ko, importante pala ang oras para sa pamilya ko. So, um, when you craft your goals now, craft it in a way that you meditate on it, no, and not get influenced by following the dreams of other people. Don't try to chase after the dreams of other people, but chase after your own dreams. Kasi it's the reason why entrepreneurs are stressed is they're chasing other people's goals, no? So, yan dalawang advice na mabibigay ko para you can kick off being an entrepreneur or a startup founder in sa right foot, in the right position, no? So you will be successful.
Wow,
Yan
very
lang.
motivating mindset and meditating on your goals and not others. Thank you to mentor Jason and of course to JP.
Right. I love what Jason said actually, no. Halos sabi ko nga,
Mm-mm.
sana wag sabihin ni Jason yung mga advice ko kasi wala na ako masasabi. But I
Two
guess
points pa rin siya eh.
but what I really would like to maybe as a closing for everyone is wag niyo sosolohin yung problema ninyo. We're talking about communities, we're talking about collaborations. You'll never solve anything. Ako, si Dor, si Jason, we've been to that stage before. Wag na wag niyo sosolohin. It's good that communities became digital. This pandemic, it's easier to reach out to people, even reach out anonymously to other people to get an advice. But tama yung sinabi ni Jason, don't go after the dream of someone else. You're not Steve Jobs, right? Kasi I think
Yeah.
every entrepreneur wants to be like Steve Jobs. You're not Steve Jobs. You're not even in the US. Set your own dream and get the guidance because the guidance is no longer hard to reach. It's just one click. Click, just type a message, click send, magugulat kayo, you'll get advices, you'll get guidance from so many. And then when you start to get the feel of who is going to be your best friend, your mentor, right? Because a mentor shouldn't be seen like a someone who's higher than you. Your friends, your peers, di ba? Then you start engaging and getting deeper into a relationship with that mentor. Huwag matatakot. Walang nag-iisa sa mundo. There's always someone, a soulmate, na mentor for you. You never know. Right, Tor?
Wonderful, no? Tama yun. I like what you said, soulmate mentor for you. And yeah, hindi tayo nag-iisa. That's the reason why our discussion today is about collaboration. And yun nga, from what our guests have said, no, it can't be alone. It's hindi na yun yung traditional way of doing things. It's the new normal. Okay, and yes, as what JP has said, set your dream and get guidance. And if you do have a mentor, you listen, get advice, and you can also definitely share your thoughts because after all, we learn from one another, regardless of age and generation. And of course, I'm pretty sure that you both have announcements, and perhaps our viewers would like to reach you or know more about your product. So please feel free to take this time to share any social media handles, projects, and whatsoever. JP?
Right, so yeah, I'll go first. So let me share with you. So my social media handle is at JP Soliman. That's Facebook, that's Instagram, that's Twitter, that's Clubhouse, and yeah, I believe those are all the only things I have. So yeah, send me a message there, reach out to me, or you can join us in unionbank.globallinker.com. Again, I mentioned kanina, it's totally for free. Uh, mapa solo entrepreneur ka, home baker ka, not registered, large corporation, libre yan, para sa inyo yan. Join there. Automatic pag sumali kayo doon, you immediately get connected with me. Right. Also, I'd like to invite everyone, check out our newly developed MSME page in our website, unionbankph.com/MSME. Andun po lahat ng mga bagong products that we are promoting for SMEs like a payment gateway, digital loans, non-collateralized loans, and so on and so forth. It's all there. Please visit the website to learn more. And there's a contact us part there, so we can immediately reply to you if you need our help. Anytime, we are all now digital to serve every MSME.
Thank you very much. And of course, Jason?
Okay, so if you want to reach me, just go to my Facebook page. I don't know my handle, or I didn't pay attention to that, but you can join Bounce Back PH official. Okay, just search for it. Now you can join it. I'm usually posting there, so you can send me a message. And please go to facebook.com/the practical entrepreneur. So that's the page where I talk about my book. No? So those are the two sites that you can use to contact me. Yeah.
All right. Thank you very much to my colleagues, and I will definitely see you around very soon. Again, it was great to have you. So we're done with the second segment, and I'm excited again, as always, for the last segment where I will be reading a letter from one of our guests. Meanwhile, let's take a short break.
We'll be back shortly. This is Dear Door, only here on V81 Radio Worldwide. Connected ka na ba para laging updated sa mga bagong shows, promos, trending news, viral videos, events, o patok na OPM hits? Just follow us on Facebook. Simple lang. I-type lang ang letter V81 Radio. O, di ba madali lang? Kaya i-like at i-follow na. Kabayan, naho-homesick ka ba? I-download na ang aming mobile app at mag-enjoy sa mga kantang Tatak Pinoy and feel like you're home. The V81 Radio mobile app, available in the App Store and Google Play Store. V81 Radio mobile app, free now, free forever.
V81 Radio, V81 Radio, Radio. Ito ang radio ko. V81 Radio, V81 Radio. Dahil mahal namin kayo. V81 Radio, V81 Radio. Para sa inyo to, V81 Radio.
Hello po, ako po si Nicole Emilio. Pinoy Music ba ang hanap mo? Well, download V81 Radio app, available on App Store and Google Play. Free now, free forever.
Now back to Dear Door, only here on V81 Radio Worldwide.
Hello, everyone. We're back, and I'm excited to read a letter from our guest. And here it goes. Dear Door, we have a family business of our own, a small restaurant that has been in operation since the late 1990s. We are located in Manila, and our previous sales eventually opened up the opportunity to open another branch in Makati. We essentially formulated the basic menu, but we have hired chefs in both branches after a certain time. The problem we have is we have received numerous negative feedback about the taste of our food after we hired a chef in Makati. We thought of settling this by either replacing the chef with another applicant, but this doesn't guarantee that the replacement can replicate the recipe that we formulated. Can we ask for tips on how to address this problem? Thank you very much. Love, Abby. Hi, Abby. Thank you very much for that very interesting letter. And well, this is actually common among businesses, in particular restaurants. I've been in the restaurant industry for quite a while also. It's a very good learning ground, but at the same time, it has a lot of challenges. So first, the most important thing in the business is the system. In this case, as simple as the recipe book or the standards that we may call it. It may be something that we tend to set aside at first, right? Because we're focused on the cash flow and other things, right? But with good documentation and this system, quote unquote, set in place, whatever happens, regardless of the turnover of manpower of employees, it's easier to bounce back. Take the example of franchise companies or franchisors. So they usually have a proven brand or system in place, and these are usually documented in the operations or franchise manual, as we call it. And these manuals, although they may seem very thick, very wordy, these are actually the Bibles to replicate the operations. But you know what, Abby? Before doing this, make sure to evaluate the incident that happened, the source of the bad reviews, and give the head chef a chance. Sit down with that head chef before really assessing whether that person is liable or not. Hear him out, right? So if you eventually decide to end the contract, taking into consideration the right process, that's the HR thing of letting go of an employee, make sure that there's proper turnover to the new chef, still taking into account the manual or written recipe and standards. So I hope that helped. But if in any case you have more questions, feel free to send a message anytime. So for everyone, today was really wonderful. Actually, bitin siya. And thank you again, Jaypee and Jason. See you guys very soon. We learned that weakness evaporates with results. It's important to teach people how to fish. And for those who are aspiring entrepreneurs, have the right mindset. Meditate and reflect on your own goals and not on others, because it's your life after all. Okay, so reach out to others. It's a time of collaboration. You can set your dream, but don't be afraid to get guidance, because there are a lot of communities out there, just like Bounce Back PH. So we also learned about systems and how they play important roles in business to ensure continuity no matter what happens. So that's it, everyone. We would like to thank, of course, Wipe, the Biryani Experience, Roberto Sisig, and of course, CAD Concepts, Cafecina Cowork and Cafe for making this event possible. In the words of Henry Ford, coming together is a beginning, keeping together is a progress, and working together is a success. This has been your coach, Dear Dore, wishing you a pleasant evening. Goodbye, everyone.
An online community for the youth, aspiring entrepreneurs, intrapreneurs, OFWs, SMEs, and social enterprises. Let Dear Dore guide you as you build your personal, professional, and business goals. Dear Dore will certainly be with you as you embark your journey and achieve desirable results. Write to Dear Dore and be inspired by like-minded industry leaders who will share their experiences with the community. This is Dear Dore with your host, Dorelene Villanueva Dimaunahan. Saturday Saturdays, 6 p.m. Philippine Time, exclusively on V81 Radio Worldwide. Naghahatid saya sa mga Pinoy, mga kanta at programang Tatak Pinoy. Napapanood at napapakinggan kahit saan ka man. Streaming worldwide. This is V81 Radio.
Malayo ka man sa iyong pamilya, dito ay hindi ka nag-iisa. Tiyak ito'y iyong hahanap-hanapin, dahil ito ang nagpapasaya sa atin.